country do you live in? Do you feel a sense of belonging here? If so, how? Nationalism. A social, political, and economic doctrine promoting and taking pride in the culture and values of a particular nation. Let's take Britain as an example. Unlike other countries, Britain has a very well established monarchy. Many British people take pride in the royal family as it promotes a feeling of nationalism. For example, in many British homes, you may find a tea set with the Queen or Lady Diana's face on it. This is why so many were outraged when Meghan Markle joined the royal family as she was American. For hardcore nationalists and racists, it threatened their identity. So, where exactly does this concept of nationalism fall in academia? There is a considerable amount of discussion raised surrounding nationalism. This literature fares from sociology to politics to geography. One theorist that can account for an interdisciplinary approach to nationalism is Benedict Anderson. Anderson was a 20th century historian and political scientist. He is most known for his 1983 publication titled Imagined Communities. Born to Irish parents in China, Anderson's life had already begun with a fusion of national and cultural identities. His family were heavily involved in the Irish national movement and deeply appreciated the rich culture of China. In his later life, Anderson worked and studied in Indonesia, America, and England. So, as you can see, Anderson's experiences in a range of countries must have had some sort of influence on his publication. For Anderson, what makes a nation was this feeling of an imagined community. His words exactly. According to this approach, nations are socially constructed as citizens will never know most of their fellow members, meet them, or even hear of them, yet somehow will hold a strong bond towards them all. This imagined community may be formed through a shared love of language or a particular food. Wars and political disputes are good examples to use when writing about nationalism, but in order to really grapple with the visual representation, the focus should be on events such as sporting events like the Olympics and singing competitions like Eurovision. In these large scale competitions, countries are displaying the love for their nation, irrespective of any other differences such as race or religion. But how true is the theory of nationalistic imagined communities in the 21st century? Many scholars have ripped apart Anderson's work and proposed the question of whose imagined community is it? These critics say that a nation cannot be imagined because each citizen, regardless of the nation they belong to, will imagine it differently to each other. It is not as rose tinted and harmonious and happy like Anderson claims. Again, Britain is a prime example where such confusions in national identity are evident. Britain is home to people from a diversity of cultures, and these same people were also born in Britain. But for many of them, they do not associate themselves with the community as they have been excluded from it. This has been through discriminatory means. The Shamima Begum complex is useful here. Being an ethnic individual who was born in Britain, she was still disowned by the British public, even though she is just as much a British citizen as anyone else. What might Anderson have to say about this? So, there you have it, nationalism in under 5 minutes. Can you think of some extra examples where nationalism has perhaps fueled hate and or encouraged community? Thank you for watching.